Hi guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Penny.
And we are the Oyster Boys, and today we are going to be reviewing a 1-tin homebrew kit, which is a John Bull Pilsner.
I think it's what we all start out on, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's full disclosure, I did homebrew kits from tins for years and years and years before I went and bought a full all-grain setup. And I, at the time, thought, yeah, these are perfectly good. It has been a long time since I've drank one of these, so...
Yeah, well, I remember me and my dad did one, and it must have done about 20 litres and we didn't finish it. We had the proper keg with the carbon dioxide cylinder that you connect to the top and it comes out, and obviously you prime it, but it was very light on flavours. I mean, it comes out like a tar, doesn't it? And then you have the hot water, the sugar. I mean, it's simple. I mean, what takes, well, other than your fermentation time, your bottling, that's it really, isn't it? Yeah, you're not spending a whole day.
If you're using like a no-rinse sanitizer, you can probably get one of these kits done in sort of 20 minutes. And everything's clean, put away, your yeast in, and it's all sorted. So for people that are on a tight schedule, people that haven't got a lot of spare time, I think these kits are fantastic.
Good starting as well.
Yeah, and it gets you into the really good habits of making sure that everything's clean, everything's sanitised as it should be, and you know, it's probably a lot less of an issue if one of these does go wrong compared to if you've spent 7 hours doing a brew day.
Yes.
Only to find out that your beer's all gone down the drain.
Yeah, it's a good way to, you know, using the hydrometer and everything and just getting a feel for it if it's for you, because the last thing you want to do is invest in a grain father or other models and makes are available and then actually putting it up in the attic and never using it again.
A lot of homebrew shops, the main source of their income is doing kits. Obviously you've got other places that specialise in just doing grain and hops, but for people that have got, you know, walk-in customers, probably the kits are a much easier sell.
Yeah, easy, yeah. So you can sell them the whole kit, can't you? The bucket, the yeast obviously comes with the kit, stuff like that, and there you go home and make 20 litres of beer, and people think they're going to be drinking crisp, fresh beer.
And sometimes they might be. I mean, there's varying degrees of it you can get. This one is probably the lower end of the price range. This was literally I think it's a 1.7 kilo can of syrup, and the instructions say just add sugar to it, and that will make you beer. You can get other ones which are, you know, two 1.7 kilo containers, which will be both full of syrup, and you add nothing to them. You get other ones that say add spray malt. There's various tweaks you can do. You can brew them shorter than they should be, so instead of 23 litres, do it 21. You'll get a slightly fuller bodied, stronger beer. And you can also do different additions, but one thing you can't really change is the bitterness in these beers.
You can't affect the hop unless you add, well, you can add hops then, but that's too late then, isn't it?
Yeah, you can dry hop, but all that's going to do is add flavour and aroma. You're never going to be able to change the bitterness because you're not able really to boil the liquor again. If you're doing that, you might as well then do partial mash, brew in a bag, or just full all grain.
What do they do? Do they get it, and do they obviously get the wort and then sort of just boil it off?
I would assume, this is just me guessing now, that they actually do a full mash and then they take the liquid out, so you're just left with the syrup.
Okay.
I'm not sure. If anyone works for Muntons, just put a comment in the box down below and tell us what it is. But should we crack these open? The first beer kit I've done in years, and we'll get it open. I think I've just fallen back on the chair there.
Well, it's carbonated.
Yep, definitely.
That must mean it's a good beer.
Let's get it in the glass. And this was a Pilsner kit, but I'm pretty sure that the yeast it comes with is an ale yeast.
The thing I'm worried about is if this tastes awesome and we've been spending 8-7 hours brewing beer, we could just be doing kits that could get...
I mean, it looks the part, doesn't it? Darker than what I'd think for a Pilsner. Normally, I think we'd be looking for a bit more of a straw colour. But like I say, it was an ale yeast that was used, because in the instructions it says brew this beer and ferment it at 20 degrees, 22 degrees. Now, if it was a proper lager yeast or like a Pilsner
yeast, 13 or something,
you'd be looking at sort of 10, 12, 13 degrees, the lower end of the scale. And also the instructions don't mention anything about lagering the beer. Which is, you know, lagering means to store, the long-term storage, and age it. But we did anyway, because we did this a few months ago now. We just haven't got around to doing it. Everything that's been going on in the world, and the fact that you can see now we're doing this review in a field will tell you what's going on in the world at the moment. So, but looks-wise, it's a very clear beer. It's bottle conditioned. We managed not to scoop up any of the yeast when we poured it.
It's not. I could. Well, yeah, actually, I can see my hand through it.
Could you read the beer Bible through it?
Do you know what? I forgot to bring the beer Bible. Sorry.
How are we ever going to find out?
Well,
I mean, can you? Let's see.
we're playing away from home at the moment, so
Yeah. Sounds odd.
unfortunately.
Yeah. But for me, it's a bit dark for what I'd expect for a Pilsner, so I'll probably have to mark it down on that. I'd probably say a 6.5. It's very clear. It's got a tight head on it, but the head's going to disappear, I suspect, quite quick.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the head, to be honest. Other than the colour, I actually, well, if I wipe the thing off, I think it's quite clear, to be honest. And I will be marked down for the colour, but the head, you know, it's not been too bad. We've had worse.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 6.9.
Okay. Now let's move on to the smell.
Well, I am getting a bit of a hop smell, to be honest with you.
Very faint.
Well, it smells like beer.
Yeah, it's got kind of like a raisiny smell to it, I think, or like a dried fruit sort of.
And definitely not getting pepperiness, which you'd expect from a Pilsner.
Yeah, you'd be thinking of like SARS or Hallertau kind of hops maybe. I'm not getting any of that. There is some hop,
malty.
very malty, and like I say, I think a bit raisiny.
But
I wouldn't say that I'm
I
getting.
wouldn't rave about it.
A lot of people talk about homebrew and it having like a homebrew smell.
It doesn't smell that, no. It smells like
doesn't smell
beer.
homemade. It smells like beer, but it kind of smells like. Have you ever had Bass Shandy?
It does, doesn't it?
It smells like Bass Shandy. Yeah, it's kind of
without the sweetness.
Yeah. It's kind of that sort of smell, like the memory of beer, the homeopathic beer. Again, it's. But probably the fact that it smells more like a can of shandy with lemonade than it does to me than a beer. I'd probably go. It's not a bad smell. It's not making me want to vomit. I'm probably going to say maybe a 5.2.
Yeah, mine was 5.4, to be honest. Like I say, it's better than I expected.
Yeah.
Put it that way. So,
shall we dive in and see what our taste buds say about
Yes.
this? Cheers.
cheers. Like it.
I don't like that at all. I mean, it tastes. It
doesn't taste like a Pilsner, that's for sure.
I don't think it tastes like any beer that I've ever had.
It tastes like homebrew.
It's a fizzy liquid that is the same colour as beer, that smells a bit like a beer. If I ordered that in a pub, I would send that back.
I would think, yeah, it's very. There's no hoppiness, there's no maltiness, that's for sure.
It's just a carbonated liquid with alcohol in it. There's very little flavour at all.
It tastes like a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, I mean, I brewed this exactly to the instructions, so I took it to the full 23 litres as well. So I didn't want to cheat. I didn't want to try and give anything an edge, and it's the same as we do when we make a all-grain beer. Well, if we get a recipe kit, we'll stick to that recipe kit so we get an accurate review. This isn't good. And I don't know, maybe we've been blessed with some of the other beers that we've tried, but this one was really...
It's not beer. It's not beer. Well, it is beer, but I don't know. If I'd got that kit and brewed it for the first time, it's the first time I'd ever made beer, I'd be really impressed. Would I drink it all? Well, what, 23 litres, so you're talking 40 pints? No, and there's a reason why me and my dad never did it, and we sort of not. I just don't want people to give up homebrewing after doing a few kits.
No, I mean, maybe this is just a bad kit. I don't know. I mean, having said that, I have done kits for a long time, and I remember them being a lot better than this. I think maybe this John Bull one, because this is a really entry level one.
Entry level. I mean, there are things you can do. You can dry hop.
Yeah.
You could always buy hops and dry them in. You could use a different yeast. I can't imagine they use the most expensive yeast.
Nope. I mean, probably when we get on to talking about the price, may shine a light on some of this stuff. But I think taste-wise for me, it's got to be probably a 2.5. It's got some flavour, but I don't like it. But having said that, I've tasted worse beers in styles that I don't like, so I'd rather have this than them. 2.5 for me.
That was 2 for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got even worse. It was a 2.
Price. Now this is probably where it will talk to us a lot about the flavour. So this cost, I think I paid £12.95 for the kit, the can. And what's a kilo of sugar? Probably like 70p.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So let's say £13.50-ish, all in for 23 litres, so 40 pints. 40 pints for £13.50 is very, very cheap.
Yes. But if you drank it all,
but would you want it though?
Yeah, would you drink it all? Do you know what I mean?
No,
you could buy Tesco's lager for 29p a can, but you know
that might be better. I think maybe if you want to see us review Tesco lager, smash that like button. Tell us all about it.
Yeah. Well, tell us your favourite own brand supermarket beer.
Beer Deluxe.
Yes. You know, I like that. The little French stubbies from Aldi.
I'd rather have the French stubbies than
I agree.
But you know, getting around to it, price £13.50 for the 23 litres. I'm not saying it's not a good price, but you're paying less for what I would call an inferior product. I'd probably give it a 4, and it's only getting those points because it's so cheap, and you are getting some alcoholic liquid at the end of it. That's
4.5 for me.
Yeah,
you're a 4. Yeah.
Sessionability though, I'm gonna have to give it a 1.
Yeah, 1. I don't know if I can finish that.
Yeah, I think I'll struggle. To be honest, I think I am going to finish it because we're sat in somebody else's field and it is sort of agricultural land, so I don't really want to pour beer away on it.
Definitely not.
But that's the only reason that I'm going to finish this beer. No other reason than that.
They have given us permission to be here, so it's not like we're trespassing.
But I think that kind of wraps it up for this one, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Sessionability, we both give it a 1, sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you're interested, here
is the score
for this beer. So, click the links down below to check out all of our other reviews and the score tables. Smash like, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Oysters out.